Scientists say there's a portal to the fifth dimension. A new study claims to have found an explanation for dark matter, but relies on the discovery of a particle which leads to another dimension. Hello and welcome to KYC News. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon. In the latest chapter in The End of the World as We Know It, 2020 present, scientists have proposed the existence of a particle that can act as a portal to a fifth dimension. The sci-fi hypothesis was published in a new study in the European physical journal C. It suggests that the particle can provide an explanation for dark matter, which has never been observed directly but is thought to account for most of the universe's mass. Researchers say particles can travel across the whole universe, including to the fifth dimension. Scientists have been questioning our universe's known four dimensions for years. These are 3 of space, up and down, left and right, back and forth, aka 3D, and 1 of time. This extensive research has produced 5D equations, which, according to Vice, express the implications an extra dimension would have on the universe and reality itself. Speaking to Vice, the study's authors, Adrian Carmona, Javier Castellano-Ruiz, Matthias Neubert, said their original intention was to explain the possible origin of fermion, particle, masses and theories with a warped extra dimension. While researching the 5D equations in relation to fermion particle masses, the scientists sketched out a new scalar, a physical quantity that is completely described by its magnitude, associated with the fermion, which they claim is similar to the Higgs field and Higgs boson particle. We found that the new scalar fields had an interesting, non-trivial behavior along the extra dimension, the researchers told Vice. If this heavy particle exists, it would necessarily connect the visible matter that we know and that we have studied in detail with the constituents of dark matter, assuming the dark matter is composed out of fundamental fermions, which live in the extra dimension. The authors described the particle as a possible new messenger to the dark sector. However, hypothesizing the particle is the easy bit, kind of. Now, the scientists need to actually look for it. To put it into context, the Nobel Prize-winning discovery of the Higgs boson wasn't until 2012, despite being first proposed in 1964. The Higgs boson was spotted by the Large Hadron Collider, LHC, the world's largest and most powerful particle accelerator. It wouldn't, however, be large nor powerful enough to find this new particle, which is too heavy for current colliders. Still, the researchers are hopeful that the particle could be detected more indirectly. They told Vice, this new particle could play an important role in the cosmological history of the universe and might produce gravitational waves that can be searched for with future gravitational wave detectors. Scientists may have discovered a portal to a fifth dimension. As posited by Swedish physicist Oskar Klein, the fifth dimension is unseen by humans where the forces of gravity and electromagnetism come together. As the two forces unite, it creates the basic theory of fundamental forces. In theory, scientists would be able to observe dark matter, which is the unidentified substance that accounts for most of the universe's mass, for the first time with this portal. This is not some sci-fi story or something out of DC or Marvel Comics. A portal to the fifth dimension could be right around the corner, along with the arrival of more UFOs and aliens. 2021 might be the year it all comes together. The new fifth dimension study is by theoretical physicists Javier Castellano and Matthias Neubert at the Prisma Plus Cluster of Excellence at Johannes Gutenberg University Mainz and Adrian Carmona. They are on the hunt for a hypothetical particle that can act as a portal to a warped fifth dimension that mediates the cosmic realms of light and dark. The warped extra dimension, WED, is a trademark that was first registered in 1999, and this new study is attempting to explain the dark matter issues present within particle physics, banking off of the original 1999 study. Dark matter helps scientists explain how gravity actually works, yet not a whole lot is known about it. Javier Castellano, Matthias Neubert, and Adrian Carmona have been studying Fermion masses, which they believe could be communicated into the fifth dimension through portals, creating dark matter relics and fermionic dark matter within the fifth dimension. The scientists are using new physics as a way to study further into what could possibly be a portal into the fifth dimension. We know that there is no viable, dark matter candidate in the standard model of physics, the scientists say, so already this fact asks for the presence of new physics. The bulk masses of fermions that are manifested in the so-called fifth dimensional warped space is the key to understanding this new portal. So far, the immense amount of dark matter has not been detectable by scientists, though that could change in the near future. As it turns out, fermions jammed through a portal to a warped fifth dimension could be acting as dark matter. Basically, thanks to the work of Javier Castellano, Matthias Neubert, and Adrian Carmona, we could get some groundbreaking physics news really soon. In their study, Javier Castellano, Matthias Neubert, and Adrian Carmona note, another possibility, which we did not explore yet, is that this new particle could play an important role in the cosmological history of the universe and might produce gravitational waves that can be searched for with future gravitational wave detectors. When all is said and done, this could also eventually lead to an interesting cosmological history of the universe and might lead to the production of gravitational waves. This is an interesting line of research, which we plan to follow in the months ahead. You can read more about this groundbreaking fifth dimension study over at Yahoo. It sounds like science fiction a little bit, but our world is a lot more mysterious and fascinating than much of our mainstream news and information lets on. A quick tour down the lane of post-material science returns many fascinating discoveries about superhuman abilities, extrasensory perception, remote viewing, non-local consciousness, and more. In short, we are extraordinary, and science has shown this, even though mainstream culture lags behind in opening up to these ideas. In a new study published in the European Physical Journal C, EPJC, scientists were proposing that there exists a particle that can act as a portal to a fifth dimension. What exactly is the fifth dimension? Good question. Let's start with what we know now about dimensions. To scientists, there has been 4 known dimensions in our universe. 3 that make up space, up and down, left and right, back and forth. This gives you 3D, and the 4th dimension is time. To understand the 5th dimension, we have to begin looking into dark matter, which is what scientists believe make up most of the mass in our universe. Dark matter occurs to be something we don't know too much about as well. We technically can't see it, and so scientists measure what effects its mass has on other observable matter. In the most recent study, the authors, Adrian Carmona, Javier Castellano Ruiz, Matthias Neubert, said their original intention was to explain the possible origin of fermion, particle, masses and theories with a warped extra dimension. They sketched out a new scalar associated with the fermion, which they claim is similar to the Higgs field and Higgs boson particle. We found that the new scalar fields had an interesting, non-trivial behavior along the extra dimension, the researchers told Vice. If this heavy particle exists, it would necessarily connect the visible matter that we know and that we have studied in detail with the constituents of dark matter, assuming the dark matter is composed out of fundamental fermions, which live in the extra dimension. In simpler terms, this new study suggests that the particle in question may be able to provide a greater explanation for dark matter. The more we know about dark matter, the more we can understand the finer workings of our unseen universe.